Full Send supplements are dropping soon. Go to www.supplements.co and enter your email to get first access. All right, boys, I'm back home in Canada. Whenever I'm back home, you guys been hearing me say it, I'm going to be absolutely firing on stake.com. Stake's the site that I use to bet. We're going big action tonight. Here's my bet slip. This is what I'm rocking with tonight. I'm feeling some fucking big winners, boys. So get your bets in on stake.com and let's get into the video.
Sir, I don't think you can park there. Wait till you see this beautiful place we set up. Great to see you again. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Everything good?
Yeah, man.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah.
See Rat hit you up? Steiny?
Yeah.
Steiny hit you up?
What's up, bro?
How's it going, man?
Good to meet you.
See you.
Mr. Forjard.
What up, baby?
Good. Pleasure to see you. Where's Z?
It's coming.
Is he?
That's good.
How do we open this? Let's go.
Oh boy, here we go. Look at the fucking catch. Hey. This is for you. Fucking you fuck up, it's going through your fucking forehead.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You too.
Have any cold ones?
Withdrew.
Yeah. Zidat's acting like it's his show now. Hey, welcome.
Huh?
Zidat.
Yeah, the guy makes a late appearance, coming in hot. This happened. Oh my god. Be careful what you answer, Risky. So, were you getting a parking ticket outside? Was that guy giving you shit outside? That's why, Aaron, you got to book better locations.
No. Well,
I didn't book this.
I mean, the guy was bringing clubs in. I think he was hitting balls out in over the park over there.
Yeah.
Comes by, he sees the memorial stuff on the side of the car. He's like, "Is that this week?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like it's the memorial. It's Memorial Day today.
Right.
Thought that would kind of go.
Yeah.
Man, he had no clue.
He had
who
no
I
idea
was.
who you were?
No.
Wow.
Which is
Wait, this was
awesome.
at the range?
No, this was right out here.
Oh, fuck. And he
Hey.
asked you about the tournament?
I had a nice parallel park job. He actually gave me like a head nod because I didn't hit his car.
That's amazing. He didn't know who you were. Does that happen a lot when people just don't know who you are in the golf? I mean, everybody knows you in the golf world.
I love when that happens.
Hmm.
I like being just a guy.
Yeah. I mean, I always ask the same question. Do you ever get annoyed by like people coming up to you and being like, Ricky?
No, because I mean, at the end of the day, when that stops happening,
Mm-hmm.
that's a bad thing. If people are like coming up to you and like wanting a picture,
Mhm.
anything, like that's good. But
Yeah, we're dealing with
Dude,
that right now.
and honestly, the golf community is so nice. Everybody's like, anybody who's a golfer is going to kiss your ass.
yeah, other than the guys that are from like Boston area,
They chirp you?
All I've done is show you respect. All I've done is show you respect throughout your whole entire career, and we will continue to. Is he? You're the first. He's the first golfer on the show.
No, DeChambeau.
DeChambeau.
Oh, Bryson. Bryson came on as well.
Yeah.
Bryson.
Yeah.
When was he on?
Bryson was on what? One of our earlier episodes, right?
Yeah. You guys boys?
Yeah, and Bryson. Obviously, he goes about things differently than most guys. Probably. I mean, it's
Well,
been impressive.
All the science and shit with the balls.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more that he looks into or thinks about than other guys. I mean, you have the full spectrum of like guys that are completely, say, like old school or feel and maybe don't want to know much. They just kind of hit it, figure it out. And then it'd be like Bryson, the complete other side, like explanation or a reason for everything. And hey, you kind of find out where you fit in and what works for you and go do it.
Guy just smokes the ball, and then it's so we played with him once, right? It was
Yeah. I didn't play with it, but you guys played, I think.
Yeah.
Or you just did your thing with the skit. But yeah, he's on a whole nother level of thought process when it comes to the whole game.
No,
So,
like I said, it's been impressive to see what he's done.
yeah.
To go from, if you look, especially if you look at like pictures of him in high school and college, and
Yeah.
then first couple years on tour, I mean, he was thin, not very big, and then to see like the kind of transformation, because ultimately he wanted to start hitting it
Mhm.
harder and further, and
Could be
Did it.
juicing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did they test for steroids in
Yeah.
the PGA?
yeah. So since they always tested before golf went into the Olympics, but now once golf went in the Olympics in 2016, we're under all the same regulations of USADA and WADA and all the Olympic testing.
Right.
Who else are you like friends with on the tour? Like who's like close?
I mean, closest for me, JT, Jordan, Duffner, Cantlay,
Is Duffner still packing bangers in his lip? He's always got a little
No,
poker sticking out
not
of there.
much. I
Where
mean,
he slams hogs
Yeah, he throws
yeah,
a big one.
there was plenty
during tourneys.
Yeah,
or-
I mean, there's
You
plenty
didn't
of
see
guys out there that
Picture
do
of him
it,
when he
but
slept with the trophy.
No.
You know that picture? With him he was sleeping with the trophy when he was wasted. It was
yeah,
viral.
there's plenty of guys that dip out there. He doesn't do it much anymore.
Well, when I played in that fucking celebrity thing, he had a packer in there the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
He was like dripping down his lip, and he was all like, he had his gut hanging out.
That's like fucking you, bro.
Of course, that's why we got along so well. We got along so well. out there.
he's someone that's Duff. I feel like can kind of be misunderstood at times because he just chills and cruises. But when you're like part of his circle, he's, I mean, easily one of the best guys out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm part of the circle.
He's actually we're staying together this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
You guys stay in the same house?
Yeah. So there's a lot of weeks. I would actually say majority of weeks we rent a house, and of those sometimes we'll have a chef, which makes things a lot easier just to be able to
That's
go
the best,
play.
yeah.
You know, we don't have to worry about making food,
Yeah.
getting food. And I would say guys that split houses with the most, it's JT, Cantlay, Jordan, Duffner.
You guys
Does
like
JT pick up the tab for the house now that he's running hot? Like, is it working? Like, who runs it hot? Or like,
No, that
everybody's
doesn't.
equally divided?
Yep.
He doesn't like step up and be like, yo, I just won the fucking PGA. This one's on me.
You would think that might happen,
What a
but no,
cheap
no.
little fuck.
But
We
you're
just-
like what? You're like the second or third highest paid off the course or something. Like it's up there, right? Like in
I've-
terms of brand deals and all the business stuff you do.
I would say we're probably up there. I don't know what everyone makes, but I've been very fortunate to have some solid partners through the years. So that's been a lot of fun to obviously continue to work on the golf game. It's been tough over the last couple of years, but to be able to have the off-course stuff to learn a little bit more about that space and kind of dive into not just golf, but learn, what goes on and how to kind of make the most out of the friendships, partnerships. I mean, yeah, you get sponsored by people, but for me, I don't want to just go and be sponsored by someone because they're going to pay me money. It's more fun when you can kind of see eye to eye and work together.
It's got to fit.
do
right?
stuff together.
Mm-hmm. I played with Travis Miller.
Yeah.
He does some work with you, right? We played with Trump
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So Travis and Colin, Colin and I went to middle school together.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So kind of a throwback there, but, I mean, pretty cool. I mean, his story with how he started kind of doing stuff, PJ memes, and then going into the media space
That
now.
page is big. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Do you guys ever go, like, when you have the house things, like during the weekend when you have the golf and you're all staying in the same house? Are you guys ever just tempted to just say fuck it, get destroyed, and just get like totally fucked up and just go wild before like golf? Honestly, the true question,
No, yeah.
because golfers love to fucking party low key. Like I see you, JT, Spieth, all you guys down in Baker's Bay when you guys go. I know you're trying to act like you're not getting fucked up. Your shirts are off and you're playing golf and you're fucking zinged. I know you are.
No, there's a time and place for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Week of a tournament, no. We'll have a casual drink at dinner every once in a while. Maybe it was a long day.
Yeah.
Just feel like a cold beer or something.
Yeah.
But no, tournament weeks, super low key. Sunday nights, it's kind of, that's the one time where you look to, if you feel like having a few and letting go. But that's about it.
There's not too many John Daly's anymore. John Daly was just the guy who just didn't give a
No,
fuck.
I feel like Duffner.
Oh yeah, we've had Daly on the pod too.
Oh, yeah, we
Forgot
had Daly
about
in the
that.
pod too as well.
How
Yeah.
can we forget that?
Daly's, he's a legend.
You ever been paired up with him?
We usually try and play Tuesday morning practice round at the PGA. We didn't play this year, but yeah, it's usually 7:00 Tuesday morning. He likes to just go early, play 9, and be done.
So he doesn't play like the full 18?
No, when we've played, it's just been 9.
So he doesn't really even does he even give a fuck? It seems like he just doesn't even give a fuck. Like, if you're playing the PGA Championship, like, you seem like you somewhat would take it seriously, right? But, like, is it true? Like, because I read he had 21, I don't know if it was just a meme, but he had like 21 Dr. Peppers and like 29 cigarettes. in the round? Somebody was like tracking him.
I don't know how true it was. I didn't get to see it.
21 darts. That's impressive.
21 darts.
That's
I mean,
numbers.
think about to have 21 darts in a round.
It's more than a dart a hole.
I mean, well, at Southern Hills, there's 2 par 5s. So even if you had 2 on the par 5s,
True,
you
okay.
still got to find another hole where you got to have 2.
Par 5, you could mix in probably 1.5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
probably.
that's starting to add up now.
So how would you rate your game right now where it's at? Because obviously you're struggling lately. It's like not like I was going to pretend this was an intervention, by the way, that this was for your golf game. Like you're actually here, you know.
Yeah, why not?
So what would you rate your game right now from A, B, C, D, F?
Well, if F being kind of the lowest, we're definitely not there.
Mhm.
Have gone and passed through that. That was, it's been a rough, almost 2-3 years. But in anything, I mean, you're never gonna be at the top or just kind of clean sailing, ride the wave. Like it's gonna be up and down, whether it's life, business, sport. Unfortunately, this has been longer than anyone would want to go through.
Mhm.
But I would say I'm in the C area.
Mhm.
Like I said, we've been through F and D,
Right.
but we're heading the right way.
Nice.
Why do you think you're in this slump right now? Like what's changed?
There's been a lot of stuff. I mean, ultimately, you go through whether it's like swing changes or working on things because you're ultimately trying to be better. You never try and change stuff to just be the same or move backwards. Like that's not the point.
Right.
We're all competitors, and for me, like I was ultimately or always trying to get better. It sucks that the taking a step back, to take kind of 2 forward. It's been a lot longer and a lot bigger step back than we wanted, but kind of going through and working on a lot of stuff. I've always been like very much a field player, and I would say working on different stuff, I kind of lost the feel of my swing in a way. So it's taken time it was like kind of crossing off everything from before and then like rebuilding and kind of relearning and getting my feels back. So yeah, there were times where it was brutal. Wasn't sure, what was necessarily coming to the course, but you got to grind through it.
Yeah.
You can't go sit at home and try and just work on it there. There's only so much you can get from that. You got to get out in the middle of everyone and test it out, see where you're really at.
How do you tune out like the haters?
You don't, they're there. But I mean, dealing with guys like him.
I'm not a hater. By the way, I actually only
just
show
kidding.
support. I came Riviera. I was like, hey man, like you actually came to me. Rickie's always been one of the greatest guys on tour, still is. And by the way, you've done an amazing job with your brand too, obviously, which we talked about before.
No, but like you're always gonna have haters.
Yeah.
Sure, you guys have plenty
Of
of
course.
haters.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way I look at it, like if everyone likes you, I mean, one, that's never gonna happen. But like if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. A lot of times it's out of jealousy. I would say a majority of the time that's what it is. Like people,
You don't have haters until you're like really popping. For
yeah,
sure.
like if you're just normal Joe
It's true.
cruising around, like
Yeah.
no one really cares or anything.
I
but
feel like you're a fan favorite though.
Definitely.
I
sure.
have a great following.
Everybody's cheering for Rickie Fowler everywhere.
Yeah.
There's haters out there, and yeah, it sucks. I mean,
But if they saw you in real life, they'd ask for a photo for sure.
good chance of it.
I think so.
All
That's how it works.
Or if you reply to the DM, they'll be like, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
All- just trying to get your
yeah,
attention.
all the hate happens on social media, and
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, that's like social media has given us so much to be able to. I mean, think about like podcasts and stuff, and to be able to create so many different opportunities and be able to connect with fans and kind of bridge that gap. But at the same time, it's given dumb people sitting at home kind of a voice, but people, whether it's you guys, me, or anyone that is someone or whether it's get canceled or ruined by any means, like
Mhm.
there's no repercussion for people at home, but anyone that has some sort of voice or is someone, like you got to kind of be careful.
Mhm.
I feel like golf's the toughest when like for mental. Out of all the sports, you have to be super tough mentally, or you're
No,
fucked.
it's fucking. That's what I respect so much about you guys. Like, so much pressure when you're playing out there, and it's so mental. It's like
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
all sports are mental, but I think a lot of it is like the pace of it. A lot of other sports, since they move so fast, a lot of it's more just you go through your practice and your training, and other sports are a little bit more just like based off reaction. Like you just react off instinct and what you've worked on. And in golf, you've got so much time to think. Like you're trying to shut off in between shots and like get back in it. Because if you try and go focus for 5 hours
Yeah,
straight,
it's not gonna happen.
you're done. But to kind of be able to, you're still on the whole time out there, but to really dial in and when you're, getting ready to hit a shot or go into that certain moment. But like I said, when you have, not saying like hitting a fastball and, major league is by any far, it's probably the hardest thing to do in sports, but you're reacting to something. You don't have time to think really.
What would you say is your biggest pet peeve in the golf course? Something that just drives you fucking nuts. Slow play obviously seems like the obvious answer.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, would it be fans? If fans ever yell in your backswing or anything like that?
Usually not. I mean, that's usually,
That's pretty frowned upon.
yeah. I would say if someone does that, if it happened before you hit the ball, I mean, people yell and do all kinds of stuff afterwards. But
I did that with the. I was with Patrick Reed. It was my first event ever, and Patrick Reed was hitting out of the greenside bunker. I've never been to a PGA event in my life, and I had two. I was double fisting 2 Bud Lights.
Was that when they invited you?
Who?
The PGA?
I don't think
They invited you
I don't
somewhere?
think the PGA rarely ever invited me.
No, because
No
actually
way.
his guy Travis told me that they invited you once.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah.
Bob had like an all access pass and like he was supposed to be making a good impression on the tour, and then he just got this fan like totally wasted, and that's
Yeah.
That's
when
on
they're
brand,
like,
bro.
That's what happens. when you
At
come
least
hang
you're
with me, bro.
transparent with who you are.
and then you're like,
supposed to
why
do
don't
that.
they let me post PGA shit anymore?
Dude, you're like a Happy Gilmore fan.
I'm so flagged
you're
by
supposed
everything.
to do that like the second time, at least get in, and
I
then
know. I was never good at following the rules. But anyways, at the end of the
We
day,
know.
I fucking had 2 Bud Light aluminum cans, and I obviously pounded one right away. And I'm sitting there, and like I'm talking to some guy who came up to me. Patrick's hitting right out of the bunker, right next to me. Take a sip, fumble the fucking can right in Patrick's backswing. It was like ding, ding, ding on the fucking concrete. Wife gave me the death stare. His
that was
wife.
just an accident. It
No, it was
wasn't
an
like you were
accident.
trying to do something.
He's the kind of guy that would get pissed though.
yeah. Reed seems a little uptight.
So 2018, that was Augusta, right?
Yep.
You finished second to him.
Mhm.
So what was that moment like? Patrick Reed.
Take it easy there, George Stephanopoulos. over there.
Dude, wait, we're on the topic of Patrick Reed.
Guys
bro.
like 2018.
No, but bro,
It was like
I mean,
March 2018.
I feel like, dude, if you
One
could
of
chirp in
his
golf, and you
historic
could say,
moment.
"Yo," I think if you could chirp in golf and you could say something to Patrick Reed, like
Yeah.
you could get in his head.
Mhm.
But you can't do
like,
that.
Patrick and we've actually been, I wouldn't say we're like good friends or anything. It's not like we hang out, but we played a lot of junior golf together. So I've known him a long time, and in that moment or that back nine when I have a chance to kind of make a run and have a chance to win, you're not really worried about like who it is or whatnot. You're just, okay, I know what those guys are doing, I know what I need to try and do, and you're just trying to execute and play. And then I birdied the last finish. I mean, there's nothing I can do, so I'm just kind of sitting and waiting. So he obviously closes it out and wins. There's nothing you can really do. It's not like other sports where you're worrying about guys coming running, tackling you or something like that.
You need to DM Bob and say, "Yo, go fucking
Bro, I'll
yell
have
in
that- I'll have
Patrick's
that plan-
backswing."
I'll have planters everywhere.
Yeah,
So it's like, it's all you can do is take care of
right.
your game and play how you're trying to play. You have no real influence on the other guys. Obviously you can post a lower score and make them chase you or something like that. But like I said, it's not like you're, pitching to them or running and, trying to take them out.
It's just, dude, on the flight here, I was thinking about it. There's never been like any beef between golfers in the history of the sport.
It's all behind. It feels like it's like a dirt behind the scenes, like
There's got to be
because
some
everybody's
shit.
always traveling together.
There's got to be so much.
Like
drama,
people are fucking
right?
each other's wives probably and shit.
Yeah.
And like like I'm guessing it has to be like
There's never been one thing.
I don't know. I'm just saying that's like the way I visualize it.
Not fucking, but maybe hitting on and shit.
hitting on.
Yeah.
Definitely some shady ass. Not to make
I stay away from any of that if there is any, but
yeah.
no, there's, I mean, like anything, you take a group of 200 plus guys and you're gonna have some very different personalities. You're gonna have plenty of guys that get along, and there's plenty of guys that are not friends by any means. But I'd say for the most part, like sport wise, it's guys know how to kind of keep it cordial and just like, I don't like you, you don't like me. Every
mean-
once in a while there's stuff, but yeah, you don't
Is
really.
there anyone you don't like on the tour?
No, I'm like, I mean, Bob will tell you I'm about as easygoing and I get along with everyone. Like when you brought up like haters and stuff earlier, I always was someone that still am, but have learned to let go a bit. But like, always liked being able to please everyone or make everyone happy or like help take care of people.
He's a gentleman and a respectful man, Aaron. Sorry, I
Okay,
had to
you're
throw that in
not.
there. My fault.
But at the end of the day, like that's not going to happen. So you have to be able, like, kind of learn to accept that. Okay, I can't please everyone, so this is what I have time for. Especially with like family growing and stuff. Like you got to learn to be able to say no. And
When did you like realize that? Like what kind of point?
I realized it. I mean, in the first couple of years on tour, but it took a couple of years of kind of learning a little bit more and adjusting. That like, hey, this isn't possible. It's gonna wear you out. So you kind of have to just shut that side out and focus on the things that you can focus on.
One of
Yeah.
you know who's a very likable guy, or he probably still is. I don't know what's going on, but we'll ask you about it in your opinion, because I think you've been vocal about it. But Mickelson was a guy who was he got in a little bit of, what did he do? What did Phil do?
They're talking about the Saudi league, right?
The Saudi
Yeah.
league? Is that Greg Norman's league?
Yeah. So live.
Touchy subject right now in the PGA, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not touchy for me. I mean, it's
What is that exactly?
Ricky can explain it. I don't know.
So the Live Tour, the whole reason it's kind of has the name or Saudi League is because it's the main funding is through the public investment fund from Saudi.
But would it all take place in Saudi or everywhere?
No,
Okay.
it'll be it's all around the world. So they're having their first event, in a week and a half in London. A couple weeks later, there's one in Oregon, and then another. They're doing this, I guess, half year. They're doing like 5 events or something. But
So
like,
is it one or the other? Like,
that's what guys really don't know right now.
The
Okay.
PGA is holding
What
pretty
what
firm.
what's like enticing about the new league?
So what I've always, or I shouldn't say always, but like since this stuff has kind of come up, I think it's somewhat exposed that, like, I've always believed that the PGA Tour is the best place to play, and that's what everyone still believes. As fans or anyone that knows golf, like the PGA Tour is the top of the top. But if things don't like change or evolve over time, other tours or things can come in and kind of create competition because they may see that there's a opportunity for something to be better or there's room for growth. And that's why I think, because it's not only Live, there's another one called Premier Golf League that has come up. These have both been in the last couple of years. So, yeah, that's there as competition. I've always been under the impression, and like I think competition is great. I think it's only better for the players, but it's something I've always used growing up or to this day. Like I go play with guys like JT and Jordan and Cantlay. JT and Cantlay, since they live by me at home, like we play and have matches together to kind of we push each other, and I think it only makes you better. So that's kind of where this stuff is. Like I guess kind of the basis behind Live is it's a little different, to try and change it up a little bit. It's only 54 holes, so 3 days.
Yeah, what are the main differences besides that? Like, what do you think that's different? Is it more they're trying to make it more entertaining and more
Yeah, in
attractive?
a way. Not that 72 holes of golf, that's not entertaining, but if you want to try and do some things different to mix it up. So it's 54 holes. It'd be, there's 48 guys, 12 4-man teams. It's still an individual component, but there's a kind of side team component. Everyone will be on course at once. So like I said, shotgun start. So everything's, happening, same time. It's, you don't have the guys teeing off in the morning and then afternoon and all that. So it is very different.
And what they're paying more, right? Too, or
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
there's a lot of money out there.
There's
Well,
a
like
lot
the
of money.
purses are bigger.
Well, look who it's backed by.
Yeah,
Shit.
Saudis.
Well, how can you not be interested in
Saudis.
it's
that?
just their fun
The-
money. They're like, let's start a golf
Yeah, they're
league.
just like their oil's blowing up. They're just shooting oil out of their fucking
yeah. As of right now, the purses are at I think 20.
Holy shit!
Is it 20 or 25 million?
Whoa.
per event.
Yeah, I can't remember the
So
exact.
what would
numbers.
the individual winner get? So say hypothetically you play 4 million in comparison to if you win a regular PGA Tour event, you would win
Most tour events are kind of in the 1.6 to 1.8.
1.6. So
Wow.
that's obviously the end
So
of the
they're going
day-
for like a smaller crowd too, as well. Like you said, it's only 48.
48 guys.
Right.
But I mean, that could be good for you either way. If you stay with the PGA might have to increase the purse.
Yeah, but it's a very
compete.
touchy thing because of
It's
obviously with. Do you want to go ahead on this?
I was just saying, yeah, it's a touchy area right now because I would say is like the players don't know what the like consequences or repercussions are going to be.
That's
They've
pretty
talked
crazy that
about
that's happening right now.
banning guys.
The PGA's talked
lifetime
about that?
suspension. Yeah.
Wow.
So like there's an event coming up. I'm not playing, but it's in a week and a half in London. Like I was saying, that's their first event. So
Who's in it? Do we know?
Yeah.
I haven't. They were, I think, supposed to announce the field list. I heard last night or today. So
you're
in the next
taking a
couple
risk, right?
weeks, what's that?
If you commit to that, you're taking a risk with the PGA.
Yeah, for sure. And there's been there's a handful of guys that have kind of already voiced that they're going.
Wow.
But it's a very interesting place right now because the next couple weeks it'll be interesting to see kind of like what stance the PGA Tour takes, and what the consequences could or will be. So I'd say there's also a lot of guys just player wise that are just sitting back and
Waiting to see who makes the first move.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
somebody's
like,
going to
what
break.
happens?
Well, it's the first event, right?
Mhm.
So you want to see how the first event goes too.
Right. And you think is Mickelson going to play in this thing or what is?
I think it
'cause
says
Phil-
they're not. No one's committed yet, but I could be wrong.
But it's Lee Westwood and is it
Westwood,
then Vic-
Mickelson, Garcia,
Whoa.
Keimer.
Sergio's playing.
Or no, I guess they're interested, but it says they haven't committed.
yeah, I haven't seen the actual like
But
field list.
yeah,
come
but
out.
you look at that too. It's like at the end of the day, if the money's that big of a difference,
But obviously, the PGA Tour is not going to let that just happen.
Yeah,
right?
the PGA's
Yeah.
got to.
Why? I mean, why would they? It's a business. They're not just going to let it happen.
Why did Phil? And I just don't know really. I haven't researched it too much. So
Phil's got a sign?
Why did he get in trouble?
why did Phil get in trouble with that tweet?
Because he said that in Saudi they like murder gay people, but they would. He's like, it would be so good for golf what they're doing that I would still do it.
Oh,
So he was like kind of like
yeah.
condoned.
tweeted
Like
that?
Tough one.
no, he didn't tweet it. I think he caught saying it.
Yeah, he
or
was
some shit.
doing an interview, and I think he'd said it was something that he was saying off the record.
Yeah.
As you guys
You gotta
know,
be
like
careful when you
off
say
the
with
record
PGA.
or on the record, like it's kind of
Yeah, yeah,
It was pretty
It's all there.
savage. But I mean,
yeah. It is what it is.
it is
no,
what
it's
it
been
is,
it's been a tough situation. I mean, everyone says like, you have to say the wrong thing every once in a while. Like it's gonna happen.
yeah, everyone fucks up.
You've never done that, have you?
I'm sure there's been something along
Not on the
way.
record.
On the record.
Yeah, off the record.
Do it right now.
No, I mean you got to try and like still be authentic and real, but at the same time realize like you still have to be careful.
For sure.
And who dropped
got
him? Like
endorsements,
who
too.
who dropped Phil? Did Callaway too? Like
They like put it on hold, or they were still there, but like put it on pause for a bit.
and when I think of Callaway, I personally think of like Phil Mickelson. So that's crazy that they
Yeah.
just like no one's safe out there with these brands, right? You can get just dropped.
Well,
for,
Phil
like-
was like the
I know.
because nobody like there was more. Phil is a wild gambler, and everybody knows that. But Phil was pretty clean for the most part with everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I like Phil. Hopefully, he comes back and he gets.
Yeah.
he gets
No,
back
it's-
in.
I mean,
it
it's
sucks to
beauty,
not
man.
have. It sucks to not have him back in the PGA wise.
Well,
It
it's
sucks
like
to have not defend the
it's
shit.
nothing you like really wish on anyone to happen.
No.
Like you don't want to see that happen to anyone.
No.
But
I'm curious out of like a scenario, like you see who's going to play in the LIV or live, right?
mhm.
And you see these guys and you're like, fuck, I could really go win this thing. And win. And if the purse is that
yeah,
big, how
it's
do you-
like I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's not about money, but it is too.
Yeah, of
course it
I mean,
is.
there's a lot of guys that keep saying like, "Oh,
Call
it's
the
not about
Saudis.
money." It's never about money. Like, there's part of it that it is. Like, everyone has a price.
Sure.
Like, if someone, dared you or told you to go do something, like, there's going to be a number for it.
$1 million sex tape. I just want to put that on record. Still. $1 million sex tape. I'll do
I'm
it.
going to start getting the fun going.
Get the GoFundMe going. I'd be down all day.
But so
45-second tape, eh?
Yeah.
45
30 second,
seconds,
one
straight
position,
missionary, that's it. In and out.
and then a fight.
but
That's extra footage.
It's interesting because I think a lot of people are looking at
Zapped
one
male
side
leaves
and the other.
girl very unpleased.
Aaron's such a fucking wise ass. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, if you include the argument after about how she's like, that's it, then it's gonna fucking, I don't know, it's good for the tape.
Well, what about like the actual after I have sex with her for the 45 seconds?
A lot of people are
she
gonna be
doesn't
like,
really get taken care of. The footage, the 2-minute bathroom footage, which she goes in the bathroom 2 minutes after, that's the one people probably want.
All right, I don't know where you're going with that, but go ahead, Ricky. Sorry.
We came
Probably
off
lost your thought on that.
money, and then Bob's only thinking about sex.
Yeah.
Just is what it is.
Just be careful because kids do happen.
I don't think this thing works, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you should be careful because you don't need a kid. That poor kid.
I'd be the best father in the world. Like, son,
No, that would be scary.
my son would be a Marine camp right away. He'd be
Putting
swimming-
zaps in his baby food.
Oh yeah, exactly, exactly.
But
Yes.
back to the
Yeah.
sex tape.
Mhm.
There's a price for everything, and not like I said, not saying that money it's about that, but it's not about that. Guys are making decisions based off of what they think's best for them or the opportunity. For me, I can stand behind or support whatever guys choose. Like, if they choose to go one way or the other, like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, that's their decision. But like, it's going to be super interesting these next couple of weeks to kind of see how things start to play out. But I think it's going to go on for a lot longer than that.
You think you'd ever play in what would it take for you to commit to play to that league?
I haven't ruled it out. And I mean, I don't know right now what it would take to commit. I think, kind of seeing the current status and where things are going, it's, I'm a little bit more just someone that's sitting here on the couch and spectating for now.
Smart move.
Well, like I said, like earlier on, like, I still believe the PGA Tour is the best place to play, and I'd love to see it continue to be that. But I do think there's stuff that could change or evolve to.
What do you
keep
think?
them. There's a handful of things. I mean, I don't necessarily go into details or need to bring up anything specifically, but I mentioned it.
What about on like the entertainment side of things or something? Is there anything that they don't let you guys do, or you think that could make the game more entertaining?
Yeah, there's a bit out there. I mean, with like the matches and stuff that go on, you have to pay a fee to the tour to have any of those. So like any of those matches that you see that have gone on TV, whether it's like the ones with
Is that Zerfs?
Brian Zerf's thing.
with BZ that
Yeah.
he does the different matches.
Uh-huh.
There's
That's coming up, by the way. This will be.
Yeah,
It'll
who,
already
Brady?
happen after it airs. I think it's June 1st. So this will air when? Wednesday or Thursday? So yeah, it's June 1st. So
and not saying that the tour shouldn't
Quick
necessarily
Yeah.
get fees for that. There's stuff around that as far as it being like basically they own all our name and likeness for whether it's on course stuff
PGA
as
does.
well as and that kind of goes back into, are we independent contractors or employees? And that's kind of some of the interesting stuff that I'm not sure how that's going to really play out.
So any partnerships or brand deals, you have to get approval from the PGA?
I don't know the ins and outs of that. Not necessarily. I know like a few years back there wasn't like you couldn't really do alcohol sponsorships, but that kind of changed over time. But yeah, so like if we wanted to go film something, and whether stream it or put it out somewhere, there would be a fee involved with that. Like we couldn't
they're
just
very
go,
protective over their product.
crazy.
PGA.
Yeah.
Over all other leagues, I think they're more.
yeah, a little bit,
Yeah.
just with
Just how many times
some
they're
of the
flagged.
things you've gone through.
Yeah, threaten to lose your account, all that stuff. Yeah, they're
But
strict.
I mean, I'm not claiming myself to be necessarily smart by any means. I know a little bit here and there, but I don't know the full ins and outs and the details. I just know the basics. So I'm looking forward to learning more and either why things are in place or if they can be changed for the betterment of the players.
Yeah.
That's why too. Is I mean, the PGA Tour players they make good money. So like, don't get it wrong. They've done a great
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
right? PGA Tour does a great job, but the grind is so intense. We talked to Bryson about it too. Like the grind to become a PGA Tour pro is insane.
Being an independent contractor where you got to pay for everything, right? Like you might be like negative if you're on the come up on the tour.
Oh, you could end up negative in the year, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild, bro.
I mean, luckily, like we talked about earlier, I have great partnerships, and that's something that kind of is would be like my guaranteed paycheck before playing. But
that's after you were already established, right?
yeah, I mean, there's guys that play on tour that may not have many endorsement deals,
Mhm.
whether it's club related or there's not many guys really get paid to wear clothing.
Right.
You could definitely go through the year, because if you don't make any cuts, you're in the red.
Right. And
That's crazy.
your come up was pretty quick though, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
I turned pro in it was 2009, and I ended up playing a few events. I played well, but had to go to Q school.
Weren't you the number one amateur in the
Got
world?
my card there. I was number one. I can't remember for how long, but I don't know, a certain period of time I was number one.
Were you like 13 years old or something? Not 13. My research is bad. Were you like really young when did you first become a pro?
No, I turned pro. I turned pro in 2009, so I would have been 20.
All right, it's bad research.
Wasn't
Wait,
that
I thought you played on the Ryder Cup. You're
Pro
the
at
youngest guy in the
13.
Ryder Cup. Youngest American, maybe.
Yeah, I played Ryder
was
Cup
13 years old.
end of 2010, which was the end of my rookie year.
How was that the first time?
Oh, it's insane. I mean, team events are by far the best weeks of the year.
For sure, most entertaining too.
Just being able to, because everyone plays. I mean, you have your own little team, but like for yourself throughout the year, if you win, it's great. You finished 10th. That's what you do. But like being a part of a team with those other guys and you're all about battling it out together, it's to do that, but also like behind the scenes, at night, have a drink together and everyone hanging out, whether it's guys playing ping pong or just messing
That
around
must be
the
really
team room.
cool.
Yeah, it's more about the hang for me. Like the golf is cool. That's what we always do. But being able to play with the other guys that, you're not playing as teammates very
Being
often.
on the Ryder Cup team,
Yeah.
that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
20 years old when you did that? Or were you 21?
I was 21 when I did that.
Who was on that team?
I mean,
We could search it up too.
Tiger was on it.
Tiger.
I don't even know if I
Did
can
those
name
guys,
the whole team.
when you're that young,
So what's that like?
Phil-
Like being on the Ryder Cup, Tiger and Phil. What's that? Are you nervous? Like,
Oh, for sure. 100%. One of the cooler parts was, so it got kind of pushed back a day because of rain. So we finished on Monday instead of Sunday. And Tiger, in the singles, Tiger was playing in front of me and then Phil was playing right behind me. So I was sandwiched in between those two guys.
That's crazy. It's a lot of distractions.
A little bit. I had Tiger in front of me, cruising through his match and like fist pumping, and Phil's behind me, like trying to pump me up because I was down. I was 4 down.
Phil's got side wagers on everything.
Who knows?
Feels like DGen gambling while he's playing.
But yeah, I remember I was 4 down with 6 to play. I ended up coming back and having my match. So to have, and by the way, after I did that, having Phil on the 18th green running at you, that's not something you want because he's not a small guy.
Right.
It was a little scary.
Yeah.
I thought he might tackle me.
Yeah.
But luckily he was there and on my team and not trying to tackle me. But
He's shaking it down for gambling.
Do those
he
guys
had
give you,
action on Rickie's
they give you
match.
He's like, yeah.
they give you advice and stuff, or they like,
yeah, I mean, that's what's cool too about those team events is being around those guys, and it's kind of an open book. Like you want to ask someone about something specific or what they do in that situation or whatever it may be, like sit down, have a drink, and shoot the shit for a bit. It's pretty cool, especially not just the guys on the team, but also like the vice captains and captain. Those are guys that
Legends.
are either still playing or guys that were very prominent guys in golf.
So is it? Do you know why Tiger withdrew out of the last event? Right
He withdrew going into before the last day.
before, but was he injured or was it just? Do you have any inside info on that? Like why?
I think he wasn't going to break 90 or something,
he was
right?
playing like shit, right? He was just like fuck it.
No, well, I mean, one, it was tough out there. It was blowing Saturday. I'll tell you one thing, for him just to go out there and be able to get around Southern the way he did and to make the cut, that's impressive.
It's Tiger Woods.
Yeah. With the state that, he's been in, going through recovery and trying to get back to where he can just walk.
Crazy.
I mean, made the cut at Augusta and at PGA. I mean,
What's your relationship like with Tiger?
we're close, not as close as like him and JT are. They spend more time together, but it's been pretty cool to see him come back this time, but also be a part of the last 8 or so years. We've all kind of been able to spend a decent amount of time together. This isn't it's not his first comeback.
Right.
No.
It just shows you a lot of like his like mental toughness and what he's able to do up here. I don't know if there's anyone that's ever been close to how good he is mentally.
Did he ever give you any like advice?
Usually it's just like talking shit back and forth. He loves to do that and take jabs, but part of it, like,
What was he doing? Chirping your fits or?
it'd just be anything, whether it's playing matches at home or if I have a decent day and then a bad day or whatever. It's more like, like probably with some of your closest friends, like
Just talking shit.
you give shit to the people that you actually like and care about. Like that's just kind of how it is.
So what makes it hard though with Tiger to play? Because they always say, is it more difficult to play behind Tiger or in front of Tiger?
In front.
In front, and then why is that?
Well, just like talking standard play and whatnot. Fan wise, people are always trying to get up in front to watch him, play the next hole or
all the
whatnot.
foot
So
traffic and stuff?
if you're playing in the group in front of him, like you're gonna have people, trying to run up ahead, and
You're just like fuck.
there's people moving. It really doesn't matter. It's not even close how much of a draw he is and the amount of people he brings out. If you're playing in the same group, you want to try and putt out before he finishes, because as soon as he finishes the hole, people just take off.
People just go.
You're just like,
Right.
all right, well, you're not here for me, so
Right. And then the other guy that's playing really fucking good right now is Scotty Scheffler.
yeah,
Scheffler's on fire.
he's playing really nice.
How old's that
I
guy?
DM'd him 3,000 times, by the way, to come to the show. Totally just left me on scene.
Yeah, he probably hasn't.
Oh,
even,
seen
he
or
probably hasn't read them.
delivered?
No, he left me on scene, and then every time he left me on scene, I just kept hammering because I'm like, don't leave me on scene. What are you doing? I just hammered him like crazy. It's like 2 a.m. in East Coast. I think he's like a very Catholic, religious man too. I think.
Yeah, I don't know Scotty that well. I know he is a really good guy. Comes from a great family. He's good people, but it's been, very impressive to see what he's done this year.
Well, because I was so pissed yesterday. I was actually really fucking heated that because me, I'm really motivated to building the show, and like with Kyle, like we all are. So
Here's the
like,
bullshit.
I really fucking go hard.
Here's the bullshit.
I really go hard at trying to get the best guests on here, as we all do. And so I was just so fucking heated that he just left me on scene. But I get it because I'm like fucking. I go after people.
So you're admitting you couldn't get him.
No, well.
So I let you out of 50K then.
No, I called you about that side bet.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
I'd
rather do Rickie any day, bro.
Yeah, obviously.
I'd rather do Rickie any day than that guy.
Oh,
Of course.
Time out. All fucking day, I'd rather do Rickie than fucking Scotty fucking Scheffler. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is,
He won't say that when he's on though.
Yeah, no way.
Time out.
You should have heard
don't
this.
know me enough, Rickie.
Yeah, no, he knows you
Scheffler
pretty
gets in
fucking
this
well.
Fucking room, it's World War fucking 3. But anyways, what I did to kind of I bet against because he went into the playoffs with who Burns.
Yeah, Sam.
Sam just won, and I put a $10,000 wager on Sam Burns last minute against Scheffler. I put a fucking voodoo curse on Scotty Scheffler, and he lost. So I'm fucking 1-0 against Scheffler. So he can leave me on scene again, and I'll keep cursing.
You like to bet on sports at all or no?
Yeah, when you
I actually don't. There's plenty of guys that do. Like JT will bet a little bit. I've actually never.
JT's been hiding too, right?
JT's been high. I mean, I'm losing fast. Dude, his word's getting around. The assassin's out.
We'd probably have the whole golf world if it wasn't for you. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what
look, I'm
scares
sorry I
them.
brought you
Probably
You might have to
right.
rethink your partnerships.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, I'm
Oh, we
sorry.
have. Trust me.
Hey, listen, I'm very sorry about bringing the best quarterback to ever play with. Spoken since the Super Bowl.
Oh my God,
I'm very sorry
dude.
about that.
Yeah.
You know.
So what about when you guys play golf for fun? You get action on there?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's gambling that you have control over.
It's got to get intense out there too. I don't know
It's
what you guys
fun.
play
I mean,
for.
we'll play. It's anything from, say, like, I'd say standard stuff would be anywhere $100 to $500. It's nothing. It's just
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit.
We play bigger than
There's
that.
no fucking way.
We play bigger than that.
I mean, most of the time it's yeah. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I mean, I think probably the most I've played for is like $5,000. Like when I play with MJ, our standards 500 and 1,000 on the second 18.
You beat him?
I haven't beat him at Grove.
Really?
No.
Who?
Michael Jordan.
You played against Michael Jordan?
Yeah, I haven't played with him much this year, but we play a decent amount at home.
How many strokes do you give him? Like, how do you work that out?
He gets 10.
10 strokes?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? And he beat you?
He's a talker though, bro. He talks to you a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, there's no filter, just go. I mean,
Damn.
not that he's not laying into you like that, but it's, we have some fun out there, and yeah, I mean, I think it's really good prep. It's usually tee off around 9 or 10 and play 36 and done by about 4, and no stopping, just go.
Are there any other like cool
Whoa,
athletes
whoa,
that
whoa.
you
I
play
don't know
with?
if we blow over Jordan that fast.
Yeah.
I think we hammer Michael Jordan for me because that's got to be that's got to be the most incredible golf round you've ever played.
Well, I was gonna ask that if there's anybody else you played with that's been like ups that if possible.
He plays with Gretzky a lot too, doesn't he?
They play a little bit. Gretz is out at Grove a lot. No, I mean, I'm in a good spot where I play with. I'm not sure how many times it is that play with MJ. It's a lot. He loves to have the guys in the game, have some action going, and it's nothing that's gonna hurt anyone. Although he would play for whatever you want, really.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure there's been plenty of times where there's been guys playing him and they want to play for a dumb amount of money, but no one really on the golf side.
Doesn't a party want to take that $5,000 whatever you guys are playing for from him on 18?
On 18,
Yeah, when you beat him.
Oh, it's no fast pay makes fast friends.
I think Phil. I mean, Phil obviously plays. I mean, you could probably make a fuck ton of money outside of playing tour just recreational games, and for just you being there.
Yeah, but I feel like if someone's willing to like play for that much, or like they're not scared.
Right.
So it's a different scenario, especially like if you're playing someone that has a lot of money. I mean, it may not be as much to them as what it is to you, type of thing.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't been in. I don't necessarily want to get into that position where I have to think about how much I'm wiring or
on the fucking
No.
course. Yeah.
I like to be able to pull out a couple hundred. All right, here you go.
So you're at an interesting time in your career right now because now you're at the point where you're usually exempt from certain tournaments, right?
Yep.
And now it's at the point where the clock is running a little bit in the sense where you're not as exempt. What I read online is like from tournaments coming up.
Yeah. So basically the good spot to be in would be like top 50 in the world.
Top 50 or
I don't know.
15?
50. So top 50 in the world, that you get you in all the majors, and you're basically exempt into whatever you want to play. So being outside of that, so next Monday, so we'll fly home after this. I'll do US Open qualifier down in Jupiter.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a different position where the first handful of years on tour, I was got myself in a good spot and was playing well. I didn't have to necessarily worry about where and when I could play. I could pick out my schedule based on I'm going to play there to lead up to a major or whatever it may be. Now I play the ones that I can play in, and then like I said, try and do the qualifier for US Open, try and get in that. That's in your neck of the woods.
It's in Boston?
Yeah.
Nice.
Country Club.
Brookline. I know that course inside and out, by the way. I know you got a great caddy. But
I'll just bring you in for.
bring me in.
Be like, you can be.
I'll
Caddy,
fucking
Florida
launch
caddy.
I'll launch the fucking it because if it's a U.S. Open qualifier, it doesn't get as much coverage, right?
Well, no, qualifier will be done in Florida,
Oh,
but the
okay.
U.S. Open's up in
Brookline. Okay, cool. What do you have to do in the qualifier to make it in there? What do you have to?
So that one will be a smaller field. They have one up here as well in Ohio.
Okay.
That's a bigger one, but really just go play well. It should be all right.
I honestly think that I'm not just saying this. I think coming on this show, the universe is working, and I think fucking Rickie Fowler is about to go nuts.
I know.
That's
You
what I
said-
really
so-
fucking feel.
you-
And we are diehard Rickie Fowler fans.
We
You
are.
said this was an intervention.
This was your moment where we're like, all right, let's go back in the game. They have to pull me back all the time. Like if I get
What's the
fucked
next
up.
big tourney?
You're playing Memorial this weekend, right?
Yeah, this is a big one.
You finished second once, right? But Justin Rose won.
Let's see. That was in 2010. I think I finished second to Duff one year too.
Who's
I
in
had-
this tournament? Is like everyone playing?
Pretty much, I think, right?
Maybe we
It's
go to New
usually-
York and then come back here.
It's a strong field.
I'd love to.
I've
I mean,
never
we should
been to a
rally
I've
up
never
the
been to a
Rickie
golf
Fowler
event, bro.
fucking- We should
Oh
just
my
go
God,
full
yeah.
Fowler.
Was this one? I mean,
I
don't know.
am full Fowler.
What's this one
now.
like?
This event.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, the Memorial is basically like Jack Nicklaus's baby. This is his tournament. It always has one of the strongest fields of the year. I've always loved the event. It's really good. The bummer, which actually looks like we have decent weather this week. Usually there's a lot of storms, but it gets a little rowdy out there too.
Really?
Yeah, Columbus
should go.
is sneaky.
Columbus is sneaky as far as just the crowd being crazy.
Yeah, no, there's usually solid turnout. A lot
The,
of people.
the craziest one is the Waste Management, right?
Yeah, not even close.
Just all hammered people. There's
Isn't
no
that
like,
where they were yelling like Big Dick Rick or something?
Yeah, that's where that started.
Where did that come? Just out of nowhere, they just started yelling that.
Yeah,
You gotta like that.
word got
though, right?
around. You know,
That's not a bad nickname to have.
No,
In
I'm
Scottsdale,
not
too, huh?
complaining.
Yeah, you
No.
can't complain about that. It could be worse.
There's a lot worse.
be worse was Lil Dick Rick.
Yeah.
That would be a lot worse. Just had to throw, I don't know. I'm just saying.
yeah, that would
Like, we have Lil Dick Aaron. You know,
No, that's
what
not.
we call him. That's his
No one
nickname.
says that. Just so you know.
Lil Dick Aaron.
No,
That's the
no
word on
one
the street
says
in
that.
Miami right now. That's all I know. That's all I
Nobody
hear.
says that.
Everybody says,
Not 'cause
"Where's
that
Lil Dick
started
Aaron?"
either.
I'm like, "Oh, he's over there."
It's funny, but yeah, no one says that.
yeah.
Just him.
Yeah.
Just
What's
me.
what's your favorite event to play in?
My favorite's probably Phoenix Open.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's just very different. I grew up in action sports. I grew up riding and racing dirt bikes, so like it's a little bit more, especially 16. It's like that stadium atmosphere. The fans, like, yeah, you still have your normal golf fans out there, but it's not just that. I mean, I think typically Friday, Saturday, there's a couple 100,000 people out there, and there's a lot going on. It's rowdy, it's loud.
Next year's gonna be insane too.
Yeah,
Super Bowl and Waste Management,
In the same week,
Both in Phoenix,
both in
at the
Phoenix.
same time,
Yeah, same
both same
weekend.
city.
same weekend.
That place is blowing up.
Whoa.
Scottsdale's blowing up. Do you have any property in Scottsdale?
I don't.
No.
Joe lives there.
Does he?
My caddy, yeah.
It's a good spot to get
Ever
shit.
after COVID, Scottsdale just went. I mean, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good time to buy now because it's
Too
No,
high.
it's crazy.
up. Yeah, it is a good place.
So nice.
Scottsdale really just has everything. It's a good balance because if you want to go out and get, want to go out and get fucked up, you want to go out and have normal time. Like it's just a good spread.
I've never had a normal time there though.
Well, because you go we go in for 2 days, 3 days into the Devil's Den. If you take your girl there, you'd stay in like Paradise Valley somewhere in there. You know, it's
Yeah.
nice. But we
No,
usually
there's good options for like you said, different stuff because you can go have a good time in Old Town.
Mhm.
I mean, good food, good places to hang.
Mhm.
There's plenty of good golf. You can go if you really want to like go nature and hike.
Mhm.
I don't know if you would want to do that or not.
Mm-mm.
That's an option.
I suffer from ADHD.
You can drink and do those things.
You can drink and hike.
You can.
Fuck it, why not? Let's walk a little bit.
Yeah, Zona Golf is fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got rattlers out
yeah,
there,
as long as you
rattlesnakes.
Stay out of the desert.
They got rattlesnake. You ever seen a rattlesnake? Yeah. You ever got close? I almost got bit once. I went down in the ditch to hit this golf ball, and the motherfucker. I wasn't even thinking, because normally I just wouldn't even go look for it. But I was going down to hit the ball, and this motherfucker was coiled up. I swear to God, right by my foot. Looked at him, and then just impulsively jumped away from it. But that could have been it, because I think when those things bite you,
That's it.
you have
You would
No,
survive
you're
that.
fine.
What do you mean? You're fine if a rattlesnake bites you?
Yeah, well, you're probably gonna have to go to the hospital, but
Right. Yeah. Because you know what I always think of too is like, do you ever get? This is a dumbass question. I'm just gonna ask a dumbass question, but like, do you ever get? I'm fascinated with like alligators and crocodiles. Was there ever a time like in Florida you were playing where a ball was like by the water, and are you ever not like hitting it because there might be crocodiles or alligators around?
no. I mean, for the most part, I mean there are a bunch of alligators around. A lot of times, if you're getting anywhere close, they just cruise into the water.
They shoo them away.
Actually, one of the craziest things I've seen in Florida is they do have saltwater crocs down, like down south of Miami. I was playing a charity event at I think it's called Deering Bay, and they have like they're big saltwater crocs.
Really?
Like 15-footers.
Yeah,
That's
Those
crazy.
motherfuckers will fuck you up.
yeah. Especially when there's, I mean, they're like crocs are more towards the aggressive side than gators are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna try.
How,
and
how
fight
can you
either
tell the
one.
difference between a croc and a gator?
Crocs are bigger.
Yeah, like so croc has the easiest way to tell them different or apart is crocs have like a skinnier snout, where gators are a little bit more broad and rounded. They
Fuck.
look mean too, both of them. Just if you see either one,
Just get away.
I mean, yeah, you don't need to try and.
What if he has
fight
the
it.
ball what if your ball's in his mouth? though?
Yeah. What if the ball is in the water?
Are you gonna wrestle the gator if that's what it takes to make birdie?
You have to hit
If
the ball. You have like 30 seconds to hit the ball.
You
I
gotta
mean,
do
if
it.
it
A
was
fucking
if it
15-foot
was
crocodile.
Ricky,
ready
do you want to win or not?
well, if it was say like if you had to do that to win a major, I mean, I'd think about it for sure.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know
That's what I'm talking about.
those things, dude.
When
Dinosaurs.
did you stop wearing like the crazy outfits?
I don't kind of like just
Just faded off.
evolved a
Were
little
you just
bit.
like, I'm just done with orange one day? Like,
No, like I wore all. Well, I'd say I wore all orange, but I had a white sweater on because it was a little cool. 2 Sundays ago at the PGA. I'll still bring out some fun stuff here and there, but I think part of it is like I evolved a little bit, but also Puma was as well, and shifting to not just making. I
Pop
would
and
say
stuff,
like
like-
yeah, like loud or colorful things. Like say now it's a little bit more like there's a lot bigger line with Puma and more options, and I'm not scared to wear it anymore. Just I kind of I don't know, fly under the radar a little bit more now.
When you first started wearing that, was like anybody like what the hell? Like when you're
Every
wearing a
kid was
full
wearing it in the
orange.
fucking world.
well, you
No,
did
but I mean,
so much
you had
for
every
like the
little
youth,
fucking kid
right?
wearing
You
it.
brought a lot
But
of youth into the
besides
game.
the youth,
by
the tour, like did
style.
they care?
Yeah, no, it's like I just did it. I mean, it was fun for me. Like I said, growing up with like the action sports or like motocross background, when you look at what guys wear, like riding gear is usually pretty loud and like colorful and stuff, and just something
That's
I
cool.
always liked doing. I always like being different, not necessarily just fitting in. So it was just something kind of, like I said, a way to be able to have fun, be different, and then to be able to see kids like buying all the hats and stuff,
The flat brim
and
orange
rocking
ones.
the-
You created that, the flat brim orange.
yeah, like to see all the kids out there wearing the
Crazy.
stuff is like there's no better feeling.
Was Puma your first big endorsement?
Yeah, it was that was my first clothing deal that I signed.
Nice.
How long have you had to deal with them?
I've been with them 13 years.
Wow.
I have to pee so bad.
Good luck.
This happens a lot just because
So how does that work? Like people see the success you've had with Puma, and then I know you're with Mercedes now, right?
Yes, I mean a few, I think around 10 or so partnerships, but
Holy shit.
yeah. So early on, I signed with Puma, and it was with Titleist on the clubs and ball, and so then a couple years later, Puma bought Cobra.
Yeah.
From the parent company of Titleist. So that was the time that I switched over and was just kind of under the umbrella with Cobra and Puma. And then, yeah, we've had different partnerships over the years, but some of the ones that have been the longest, Rolex has basically been since almost day one.
Are you still with Rolex?
Yep.
How many Rollies have they given you?
They don't necessarily just give them. You have like a small allowance, but it's a little bit more of
Just pay.
the partnership, and we can get discount on some watches.
How many rollies you have?
Probably around 12.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a
Sauce.
lot. What's your favorite
got a
one?
few.
That's dope. Being sponsored by Rolex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck, bro. How do you get that?
He has 12 rollies.
somewhere around
From
there.
Rolex.
My favorite is probably the Platinum Daytona.
Oh, nice.
What is the one you're
That's the one that's the one that.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know. I don't. Listen,
sponsored
I'm not on
by
your fucking
Rolex,
level.
bro.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm not on your level.
What's that? What's that you got on your wrist there?
I got a fucking bead that I got. I'll tell you, I got a bead from some hammered dude at the bar because I always like to wear things on my wrist, but I'm not on fucking.
Someone
Fowler
gave
level.
that to you?
I'm not about to go fucking swing
That's
with
a
the
summer-
Saudis,
That's probably
right?
like some black magic shit you got on there.
No, it's like a trust bracelet.
I wouldn't trust that.
It's probably got some good energy.
This does have good energy, you know. No, I got it from some kid. I was just like, hey, he's like, yo, you're the man. You're great on the podcast. You know, you get the greatest
He wants
guests
to
on
get
there.
you this bracelet.
I was like, yo, can I just have your bracelet? And he was like, yeah. And so that was it.
No, it's lit. I'd rather have that than his Rolly.
Yeah. By the way, you have a kid now?
Yeah.
Baby girl?
Little girl, yeah.
That's amazing. Is that taken away from golf time?
Not necessarily. I mean, I would say compared to like me when I was living on my own, living in Florida, practicing and playing, like I just go to the course and go hang there all day.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily how it goes nowadays. Things are a little bit more efficient as far as go play, practice, but spending time at home and I mean being with her and Allison, there's nothing better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you're ever gonna go there or not. But
Are you kidding me? I might be. Yeah, I don't want. This is the Rickie Fowler show, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna probably pop the questions very soon. I might need your help.
What do you think about that?
hey, you do you?
Yeah,
No,
I don't know why, dude.
she's gonna be one lucky girl.
I just picture the big moment and you get on your knee and you just forgot the ring. And then
Yeah.
it just, I don't know why, bro.
Brett's gonna be there. Brett will have the ring. I just don't know where to do it. Where did you propose to your girl?
I didn't plan anything out, but we were the weekend before the U.S. Open at Shinnecock. We were staying at Jimmy Dunn's. He lives up there in Southampton. We were just out cruising around. It was actually me and Allison and JT. It was the day we were taking off, and so went and did like lunch and drinks, hung out, went down to the beach. We lived right by the beach, and before we were going to go walk out there, I think Allison was downstairs. JT knew I had the ring with me, and we're staying across the hall from each other, and he leans out. He's like, "You're going to bring it?" I was like, "Yeah."
So you knew you were ready to go. So you are because what I'm thinking is when
Yeah, those are usually pretty planned.
those are pre-play. Yeah.
No, this wasn't pre-planned at all.
But you had the ring, though.
I had the ring.
But you knew you were going to propose at some
At
point.
some point. Well, we looked at rings together. Like,
Oh, shit.
Oh,
It
that's
was-
how. So you have to go look at rings together?
you don't have to.
No,
You can do it however you want.
She's expecting a big rock.
that ain't happening. Listen,
But if you look
Why?
at
What's
rings-
your budget for the ring?
the only thing I actually would splurge on, because I'm not running around like fucking fuckface with chains in Miami. The one thing I would splurge on would be a ring for my
What are you thinking
Yeah,
of
what's your-
dropping?
I mean, I think that like I don't know.
You gotta
I've never-
see-
come
you
on,
gotta
wait.
see what-
I've
yeah.
never looked at a price, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna say a number. I think I would probably spend $100,000 max on a ring.
That's a good budget.
Is that crazy?
No, that's good.
I don't think
She'll be
that's
happy.
crazy.
Anything less,
What do you
she
think,
might not
Ricky?
say yes. I'll tell you that much.
Is that light or is that a lot?
rings aren't cheap.
Really? So you went.
Oh, Ricky
You
splashed.
dropped. Oh,
No, I-
splashed.
Yeah, you did.
I mean,
Rolex hooked you up
Migos
with
came
somebody.
out
You got a
warmed up.
discount.
no discount there. No, you should like go through the process and learn. It's pretty cool to like learn why, a certain stone that looks pretty similar, like why this is a lot more than this based on the cut and clarity and its rating and stuff.
Yeah, you have
You
to
can learn a
splash
little
on
bit.
your ring. for
You had to splash in a ring. If you're gonna
Yeah,
marry
it's a big
girl,
moment, bro.
You got to splash in a ring. But like, it's like at the same time too. I'd be the guy.
And
Well,
then
I would
just-
be the guy. I'd be the guy who dropped 100,000 and got fucked and got
You
like
can't
a
buy
fake
your girl a
ring.
dust ring.
Just do,
Huh?
You can't buy your girl a dust ring.
yeah. And
No.
you'll do some stories or a feed post for them and get a little discount.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably
You
already
might
been
be able to
doing
work
them.
something in.
I'm like, I drop it in a knee, and then it's like followed like the next week, like 17 Hamden Jewelers swipe ups the next fucking week. But no, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. So,
But you don't have a ring yet.
no,
So it
no.
can't
I'm
come
just.
that
That's
soon.
why, like, honestly, you've been through the process, so that's why, like, I didn't even give a fuck about your golf career. I just.
So that's why I'm here. We're here to now. It's the intervention on him to work through this
Yeah, do you
whole
have advice
engagement
for him or
process.
what? Any advice you can give him? What's changed for your life?
No, everyone says when you know, it's basically that way. If like you're in a position where it's just like there's no reason to necessarily wait, but
Yeah.
you have to figure out one, if you're gonna look at rings together or not. One that makes it easy there is then you know what she likes.
But
But isn't it supposed to be a surprise, like proposing? Because if you're shopping for rings with them, then it's not like a surprise, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
use his
but if
leverage
they're-
though and be like, yeah, you know, you don't fucking.
If they're really in that position, she probably
Yeah. If
not
you've been
necessarily
together-
I don't think
expects
she
it.
knows.
I mean, I blasted all over social media.
Yeah,
every
but she
post.
thinks you're joking.
Yeah. So
You just gotta figure out.
I
which-
can't wait. I'm in.
which way
I'm
you
in
wanna
for
go.
the
the.
wedding's gonna be insane.
I'm
There's
in
gonna be
for it.
65,000 invites, and there's gonna be like 290 confirmed. This is gonna happen. I mean, that wedding's gonna be insane.
Would you go or no?
Ricky? Would you stop by the wedding?
Where is it?
When in doubt, ask
Boston?
a question.
Wherever you're in town.
Where are you gonna
Newburyport.
be?
He needs one big name there.
We need a big draw.
Yeah.
If I'm off and it's convenient, yes.
You gonna come? Okay, cool.
Dana will show up.
No, Dana fucking turned me down. I was never so fucking mad at Dana.
Really?
Yeah, let me tell you the truth. For everything I've done for that fucking company, the UFC, and for everything I've done for that sport, I go, and Dana was just so straight up about it. I was just like, yo, Dana, I was like,
When was
So I
this?
think I'm getting married soon. You know, you gonna come to the wedding? And he's like Michael Rubin was like, yes. Everybody was like, yeah. Dana was just the one fucking dick who was like, nah, I don't do weddings. And he's like, but I'm great at giving gifts.
Well, so you're
He
winning.
probably
Take
gets
that.
invited to
And I
so
was
yeah,
like,
many
it's a fucking
weddings.
win-win.
He gets
Yeah.
invited to so many weddings.
But then I see him. I go to the fight last week, okay, in Vegas, and I sit down and we're talking. He brings me in the room during the Holly Holm fight, and we're talking. And he's like, "Yeah, so he's talking to my guys. Like, yeah, I'm going to a wedding next week." And I was like, "Really? You're going to a fucking wedding next week?" So if Dana White's not at my fucking wedding, let's just say UFC is going under.
I do find it funny. If you go through that whole process, I do find it funny when people get upset when they're not invited to weddings.
People get upset. Yeah, it's going to be
It's like,
tough. But
if you're that close,
right,
you're invited,
right.
and I don't know. I almost get pumped when I'm not necessarily invited because then I'm not obligated to go.
Right.
Not
I
saying
know
anything.
it probably becomes such a
well,
chore.
by the way, your invite's already in the fucking
That's why he
mail.
just said that to make
You're
sure you're
guest number
uninvited.
one. Your guest number. We expect a fast. It's gonna be a very hot wedding. So
Okay.
I'm just saying, like Migos is probably gonna be coming out. Bieber's gonna be probably on stage singing.
Yeah, right.
There's gonna be fucking.
No one's performing there.
It's gonna be a hot wedding. TMZ everywhere.
Was JT your best man?
Kind of in a way. So we did a super small wedding, and so we had 48 people.
Oh shit.
So my best man, Lenny, my best friend from high school. But really with like 48 people, it basically ends up being your immediate family and then wedding party. So everyone that was there was, basically our closest friends and family. So it was nice to be able to keep it small because then you could just go have fun with everyone.
Yeah.
You're not having to, go say hi or thanks to hundreds of people. Just, it was more like a glorified vacation.
Life's already big enough anyway, right? The way you look at it, right? Life's already big enough for you guys. You always deal with the shit anyway.
Yeah, we had a party a month later with, extended friends and family from home. But to be able to do that like wedding weekend with a small group,
How was the
good
honeymoon?
time. We went to. I will say one thing. Puma was awesome. We got to take the jet.
Nice.
We did. So we wanted to do safari, but we went to Cape Town for 3 days, and then went on safari for 3 days.
How's the safari?
Awesome,
Oh, dude.
That's
It-
sick.
you have to do it.
What'd you see?
Talk about that. Go ahead. Sorry,
For
Kyle.
everything, but
What'd you see?
basically
We gotta
everything.
go on a safari.
Dude,
go.
don't even talk to me about this shit.
So, yeah, what'd you see?
All of it. I mean, the one that I would have liked to have seen that isn't usually that many that far south in Africa is cheetahs.
That's my
A little
favorite
further
animal.
north. Yeah, cheetahs are
dope.
awesome.
There's no cheetahs? There's
Didn't
none?
see any.
Oh.
There's a few, but a little different area. There's more around. But yeah, you have to do a safari at some
So what
point.
do you do? Like do you sleep there? Like how does it work?
Yeah, so the place we went to, Lion Sands, it's a great spot, but so you have the Kruger National Park and then Sabi Sabi, which is kind of like a private game reserve area. And there's different places you can go in there. And the place or the private side that we stayed at, which are like basically like individual little villas, So we're there for 3 days. Every morning they drop off or you get a wake up call at like 5:15. They drop off coffee with usually like a daily Danish. They have a local liqueur called Amarula. I would put that in the coffee, have my coffee. I'd pour some whiskey. We'd be in the car at 5:30. Just go cruise around, sip some whiskey, and I mean, it's your honeymoon. So
do they warn you though? Do they warn? Are they like hands in the vehicle? Don't wander.
Oh yeah, no, you're not getting out. You're not messing around. It's
just.
And when I say I'm sipping whiskey, I was literally sipping. I'm not out there just enjoying a morning cruise, looking at animals. But you do that, drop you back off. You have breakfast, hang around, do lunch, and then you usually do an afternoon drive around like 4:30.
Do they guarantee you're going to see kills?
Kills?
No,
Like kills, like a cheetah killing a fucking.
Did you see any kills?
we didn't see any kills.
Oh, that sucks.
No, well, that would be lit to see. I didn't
Yeah.
expect you would see
I
that.
thought you
for
would
sure.
always see a kill. I think it'd be like a fucking whale watch. Because every time you go on a whale watch, don't you see a whale?
Not
always.
necessarily.
Oh,
no.
really? All right. I've never been on a whale watch.
Wow. If you caught a kill, that'd be fire,
It's
bro.
like you're going fishing. You're always catching a fish.
Bro, if you catch a kill on a
No, you
safari,
never
that's
catch
probably
it.
sick.
yeah,
That's
no, it happens.
Yeah.
But or there'll be
That's gotta
times
be
where you
lucky,
come
though.
up after it's happened because a lot of times like the kills will happen at night too. So like you'll catch it when you go out that next morning.
So what
So-
animals did you see? Lions?
Yeah, lions, leopards, rhinos. I mean giraffes.
crazy.
That would suck though to spend all that money and not get see a kill. What I would do if I was running that safari, I'd have like gazelles in the back, and if shit wasn't popping, I would just fucking drive by the lions, fucking throw one in the mix, and be like, all right, boys.
Well, that's the
fucking-
thing. A lot of times during the day, like that's when all the animals are just kind of chilling.
Right.
Like that's when they're kind of cruising and hanging out. You got to go out there. You got to go out there at night.
I wouldn't fucking leave the property until I got my money.
Well, like one of the nights we stayed in a treehouse.
Oh, word. And at night too, you're staying at the fucking treehouse, or you're staying on the property there. At night, you can't really go out and like smoke a cigarette, or but I'm saying you can't do that because there's animals all over the fucking place, right?
Oh yeah, no, we were staying in the treehouse, which is probably like kind of the size of this living room here, and then there's a bridge that comes to it, and the bridge folds over, so like there's about a 5-6 foot gap between the bridge and the treehouse. But yeah, like middle of the night, we had a hyena that came up.
No way. Those
Right
things
there.
are nuts, especially in packs.
Yeah,
What'd you
Those
do?
things.
Like, did
Did you get protective
nothing.
mode?
I could hear it because so hyenas don't have retractable claws, so you could hear them walking up the bridge, and I mean we're laying in bed. I could hear something.
But the
coming
door was
up.
locked and shit, right?
No, there's no doors. I mean,
There's
it's a treehouse.
So what? He was about to walk in.
Rickie
so,
Fowler
like,
would have been fucking
The bridge folds
Yeah.
over, so there's like a 5 or 6 foot gap,
Oh,
and
so he would have had to jump.
yeah, and come to find out afterwards. I mean, I knew that they couldn't jump that well, but you still never know. But come to find out afterwards, like they can't really jump at all.
Oh, okay,
But still, like
that's
hear him
fucked.
walking up. I mean, the door was right where you're at,
Mhm.
and so I kind of go peek over, and right as I peeked over was when he was kind of turning and walking away. But I was from me to you.
Were you
Just-
scared?
I wouldn't say scared. It was more like kind of gets your heart pumping a little bit because you're like, what is it?
I would have went out there with a fucking baseball bat.
No, you would not have. You're
Yeah, I
the
would've.
biggest pussy ever. You would not
No, I
have.
would've
We
come
didn't
to
have a
nature,
baseball
buddy.
bat.
They didn't give you. Did they give you any like? Can you bring like hold a gun in there or anything?
No,
No.
I had a flashlight.
The flashlight. Nah, it's gonna do a lot. It's a pack of hyenas. Those things have their bite is so strong. The hyenas are nuts. The crocs, the hyenas, and the fucking mountain lions are my three that I'm big into.
Whatever you think.
I spend hours
have
and
anything
hours and hours on YouTube just down a dark rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's
All
the
the
best.
time. Those are my favorite. So, all right. So the tournament's coming up at Columbus, Ohio. We're gonna be cheering for you.
I think DM us and shit. If you guys want us to pull up, we'll go.
100%.
Dude, well, yeah.
I
We're
think we're gonna head
following
to
you
New
every
York.
hole.
I think we're gonna head to New York tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we go to New York tomorrow. Get some shit.
We
going.
follow you every hole, though, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll have a huge or a group of us, I guess.
He already has a big.
But you
enough
gotta be
thing when
careful.
He goes to places.
Yeah, but I know.
No,
Maybe-
especially with with what the weather and stuff looks like out there, and especially with where we are, like kind of past COVID and all that, and people are like stoked to be back out at sporting events and like doing things. So I think this year there's going to be a good amount of people and a good turnout at the tournament.
I'm gonna bring a pet hyena on.
You got to show up in the all orange.
I'm gonna show up in an all orange and a pet hyena.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
fucking
should.
walk around and follow you for 18 holes for good luck. Because shit needs to turn around fast, Ricky. Let's go.
This was it. This was our.
This is the
Let's go,
time where
baby.
fucking shit turns around right now. Is when Fowler's back.
Hell yeah.
He's back.
All right, we good?
We're always
cool.
good. I love it.
All right, Ricky.
All right,
We
Ricky,
appreciate
You're
it,
the
bro.
fucking man.
Rick, thanks, bro.
Shout out to Ricky.
Shout out, Ricky.
Go.
The Bob intervention's done.
The Bob intervention is fucking done. I love it. Ricky, thank you so much for doing that, brother.
Yeah.
Good to meet you, man. You too. Awesome.
Thank you. We can make it out, you know? Yeah, no, that's fine.
Let's get Happy Dad to be the #1 seltzer this summer. You can go to happydad.com/find us to find a local store or bar that carries Happy Dad near you. And boys, make sure you tag us on Instagram @HappyDad on your IG stories because we're reposting a ton of you guys. And don't forget, you got to be 21 plus to buy and drink Happy Dad.